So one of those lawmakers hoping to ban TikTok is Congressman Mike Gallagher, Republican out of Wisconsin. Sir, good morning to you, and thank you for coming back. There's a bill that passed in the Senate overwhelmingly. It's moving to the House. It's not clear if it's going to come up now. Maybe it comes up in the new Congress. It appears that government employees will be banned from using this app, I would say sometime in the year 2023. Do you see the government abolishing this app for all users? And if so, what do you think the reaction would be when you consider Americans age 25 and under? I think close to 2/3 of them are on it.
I do think we need a broader TikTok ban. I've introduced a bill that would do that, and it's a bipartisan bill. I'm joined by my Democratic colleague, Raj Krishnamurthy, in supporting that. And I think the more our colleagues learn about the lack of transparency surrounding TikTok's algorithm, as well as the more they just understand the basic ownership structure, whereby TikTok is owned by ByteDance and ByteDance is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, I think we'll get an increasing number of co-sponsors, not just Republicans, and there's been an overwhelming interest by Republicans, but also Democrats. As for the reaction, no doubt, teenagers may be upset if we institute a broader ban, but in many cases, they're not aware at the way in which they're being targeted. And given that so many young Americans now get their news from TikTok, we have to ask ourselves, do we want to allow the Chinese Communist Party the ability to basically determine what news we get, basically determine what propaganda we consume? I would submit that's very, very dangerous, which is why we need a broader TikTok ban before it's too late, before they become the most powerful media company in America.
I apologize for interrupting you. If you're going to do that, then you have to explain your position. And maybe the best place to do it is on TikTok.
Well, I won't be engaging on TikTok anytime soon. I think a lot of the politicians that try and look cool on TikTok end up embarrassing themselves. So I think we can explain first in Congress the pernicious role that TikTok is playing, the national security threat it poses. There's a few things at issue. I mentioned censorship of news, the ability to manipulate the news. It's also the ability to track your location, track your keystrokes, track what websites you're visiting even when you're not on the app. And again, the reason FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr called it digital fentanyl is not only because it's highly addictive and destructive, but because ultimately it can be traced back to China. And that's the fundamental issue, right?
Here's the deal.
When you have a Chinese company that's at the whim of the CCP, that's the issue.
They're getting in their phone. They get access to your contacts and everything else you've got there. And that's what you need to explain to young people who have grown up with the digital device. Okay, now quickly on COVID. House Intel Committee report on the origins of COVID. We're not there yet, but maybe we'll get there eventually. The committee believes the IC Intel community downplayed important information related to the possible links between COVID-19 and China's bioweapons research based in part on input from outside experts. What that means is that you believe there's a possibility that a bioweapons program in China, that may have been the point, not with intent, but the point of creation of COVID-19. Is that where we're headed?
I think it's becoming increasingly clear that at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, they were playing with chimeric coronavirus. They were altering the substance of the coronavirus, doing gain-of-function research, and that U.S. taxpayer dollars were funding part of that research. The IC review, we found serious deficiencies with it. For example, they presented the idea that there was broad consensus that there was no relation to a bioweapons program. However, they didn't disclose their confidence levels in that assessment. They also didn't disclose the work of something called the Fifth Institute, a division of the PLA that specifically focuses on bioweapons research. We're also learning more in our review about certain key individuals like a PLA Major General Zhu Yusen, who happened to kill himself a year after the virus was released. So we don't believe the IC has done its job thoroughly. We need more transparency, and we're going to continue exploring this and demanding answers when we are in the majority in a few weeks here. And we will use our subpoena powers if necessary. The American people demand answers for where this pandemic started.
Mike Gallagher, thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon. As we have said in this program, for the world to move on without an answer would be foolish. Mike Gallagher, thanks, in Wisconsin today. Here's Dana.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.